We're going to take a look at one of XMRE's newer 24-hour ration packs. The 3000 XT line can be found at xmremeals.com. What we're going to look at today is going to be menu number 1. In a previous video I did an unboxing and actually opened up this ration, and this is everything that you get within the ration, meant for 24 hours. It can be split up however you want. It can be split up into 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or it can be eaten on the run whenever you find the time. And what we're going to do with it for the review is we're going to split this in half, making 2 meals out of it, each meal based on one of the 2 entrees that are included, Southwest beef and beef brisket. That way we can cover all the stuff in 2 large meals rather than 3 smaller ones. So go ahead and take a look at what we're going to have for meal number 1. Alright, I've kind of gone through everything and split it up, and I think I'm pretty happy with this as the 2 meals. It's roughly split down the middle here, meal 1 and meal 2. Meal 1 does appear to have more components, but the spoon and the condiments are going to be shared by both meals. And one of the beverages for the first one is the coffee, so it has coffee, creamer, and the sugars. Basically, the first meal will be the Southwest beef and black bean sauce. And meal 2 will be the beef brisket. Each meal will have 2 beverages. Meal 1 will have the lemon lime beverage base powder and coffee. Meal 2 will have the orange carbohydrate electrolyte beverage powder and the mocha cappuccino instant powder. For snacks, sides, and desserts, meal 1 has crackers and grape jelly. Meal 2 has crackers and peanut butter. Meal 1 has the roasted salted corn nuggets. Meal 2 has the mini chocolate chip cookies. Meal 1 has the vanilla dairy shake powder. And meal 2 also has the white wheat snack bread. I have the 2 bread items of this one because I think that with the gravy and the brisket, it might go good with the some wheat snack bread. It may not be a perfect split, but of course, like I keep saying, you would eat this however you want to, however you can, depending on your situation. It certainly will be possible to make 3 meals out of this, but I think it'll be doable with 2. So here's our meal. We're going to start off by heating up the entree. And I did want to mention that the 24-hour ration does have a date code on it of 5180, which means it was packaged on June 29th, 2015. I actually got these a few months ago, so it was very fresh as far as packaging when I got it back in the summer. Of course, that packaging date is the outer packaging. Stuff inside will have different date codes. Some of them, like the crackers here, 5135, are very similar to the packaging date of the outer bag. And other things, like the entrees, are on the older side. This one has a date code of 3004, meaning that it was packaged on January 4th, 2013. So it's almost 3 years old, which is not quite as fresh. And XMRE gives these nice little information cards with all the entrees. And they give a heating sleeve or a thermal sleeve that you can use to put the entree in with the FRH, flameless ration heater. And some of the information on here includes the ingredients. You can pause here if you want to read those. And the nutrition facts. You can pause here if you want to read those. And XMRE does provide 2 flameless ration heaters per 24-hour ration, so there's 1 for each of the entrees. Go ahead and tear the top off of here. We had our entree on top of the heating elements. Keeping everything above the fill lines, and we'll add a small amount of water between those 2 fill lines. Right about to there. I'm going to put a little bit extra in. Let's slip the heating element and the entree inside there. Fold the top over. And we want to lie it flat for a few seconds just to get some water into the heating elements. Make sure they're all wet. You need that water in there to activate them, and it's activated now. I probably should have put it in the thermal sleeve first, but I didn't. This is a It's weird to say fresh for something that's not edible, but it is a fresh heater too. It has a date code on it of 5055, so it was from this year. And then we'll place the whole thing at an angle on a rock or something. Give it about 10-15 minutes to heat up. While the entree heats up, we'll check out what else we have. There's the crackers. And some grape jelly for those. It's going to be a little on the runny side. Grape jelly might not have been a bad idea for the bread, but I did keep that for the brisket. Here's our roasted salted corn nuggets. These are packaged for XMRE, so they have their own brand on the bag. It's a nice touch. And I always forget that these don't have the tear notches at the top that most MRE pouches do have. Like this one here. So it's going to require a little bit of cutting. Those are your standard corn nuts. Next we have our lemon lime beverage base powder, which takes 12 ounces of water. Since I don't have a hot beverage bag, I'll just mix it right up in the glass here. Get that smell, that artificially kind of smell of like a Kool-Aid, Gatorade kind of a drink. Let's get that nice green color. And one thing I've noticed is that the carbohydrate electrolyte beverage powders tend to mix up a little bit easier than the other ones. You can see there's still some stuff in there, and I think it's going to remain the case for a while. I'm not exactly sure why that always seems to be the case, but it does always seem to be the case. Next we have our vanilla dairy shake powder. This being a shake, it's a beverage, but at the same time I'm going to be using it as a dessert. This takes 6 ounces of water. It also has this nice fill line here if you don't have anything to measure the water with. Just rip off the top, tear open the zip top, and add your water. And it's in one of these nice pouches that you can just zip it right back up and shake it up right inside the pouch. The dairy shake powders and the instant puddings tend to need a lot of shaking, and I'd rather overdo it than underdo it. It's got a nice vanilla flavor, sort of an artificial kind of smell, but it's sweet. It smells like vanilla. That leaves us with the coffee. I do give you creamer and sugar. You can obviously, of course, you can have it black, and you can also make it black and then add what you want to taste. But I'm just going to go ahead and dump everything in. And that just leaves us with the entree. It seems to be about as hot as it's going to get. And parts that were in contact with the elements are going to be the hottest, so it's good to mix this around a little bit just to distribute the heat a little bit better. And interestingly enough, this has the tear notches at the top. Seems like most of them these days have them going across the side, and it goes back and forth as to which one's better. Because if you wanted to use the heating sleeve as a little pouch, which you can do by little pouch holder, I should say, by folding the bottom, you'd want to be able to tear it from the top. But if you're eating it just out of the pouch, a lot of times you'll want to just have it open the long way, so you can fit your spoon in there. Of course, if we were using a tray like we're doing, it doesn't really matter. It smells good. It smells like a beef stew. With maybe a little bit of an extra kick, which would be the Southwestern style. Might have been nice if I had been able to heat this up a little bit better, but I'm just using what they gave us. I have to say, that looks pretty good. It looks pretty appetizing to me. It doesn't really have that can look like the pasta dishes have. Obviously it's not something that you'd get at a restaurant, but it looks good. Pretty good chunks of beef in here. Don't look overly processed. I don't know, maybe they don't look too bad. Kind of grilled a little bit. See tomatoes. Looks like some green peppers, some corn. There's obviously the beans. There's some black bean sauce. I don't see a lot of beans considering the sauce is called black bean sauce. There's a good chunk of beef right there. Let's go ahead and try this out. That's good. It's not bland. A little bit of a package kind of a flavor to it. Not terrible though. Let's break up some of this beef here. Give me an idea how that looks. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't taste too bad either. Despite the amount of sodium in most MRE entrees, there are some that are surprisingly bland. This one, I mean, it's Southwest, so you'd expect quite a bit of heat from it. It's not hot. It's not particularly. It's not spicy really at all. But it's flavorful. It has some good flavor to it. I think for somebody who's really into Southwest food, spicy food, a little bit of hot sauce, and I think this would be really good. Try out these roasted corn nuggets. Roasted salted corn nuggets. These obviously I'm expecting to be pretty salty. It's not too bad. You can see you get quite a bit, but it's only 11% of your total daily sodium. And those are really good. That's a kind of snack you can have on the go. I don't think you'd want to have it in a tactical situation where you're trying to be quiet though, because it's got quite a crunch to it. But they're really tasty. Try some of the instant coffee, which tastes like instant coffee. Not too much to report there. Our crackers are a little bit crumbly here. I'll try this with the jelly. And that's good. I haven't really had jelly on the MRE crackers in a while. Been a lot of cheese spread and peanut butter lately. It's a nice change. And we'll try our dessert, the vanilla dairy shake powder drink. It's weird, it has these little red specks in it. Not really sure what those would be on the ingredients. There's yellow 5 and red 40. I don't know if that's what those are, but interesting. Actually, there is, maybe that is the dye, because there is the red and there's actually little, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's actually little yellowish dots too. It has a good vanilla flavor to it. Obviously not quite up to the par of an actual milkshake, but considering you just add water to it, it's pretty good. And that just leaves us with the lemon lime beverage-based powder drink, which is pretty standard. It's pretty sweet, lemony kind of a flavor to it, citrusy flavor. Like I said, basically like a Kool-Aid or a Gatorade kind of a thing. It's certainly a step up from just plain water. So I'd say overall that makes for a pretty good meal for half of our 24-hour ration. It's been a look at the XMRE 3000 XT 24-hour ration menu number 1, meal 1 of 2, Southwest style beef and black bean sauce. Thank you for watching.